Once again, we're back. This time, the focus of the video is setting up problems, setting up the problem, which is really all about thinking clearly. And it's good to keep in mind a quote from someone we all know, Albert Einstein. I think we can all agree he was pretty sharp and solved problems. He says that the formulation of a problem is often more essential than its solution. That is, setting up a problem is often more important than finding its solution. And that's what we're going to be practicing today, is setting up problems. And we're going to be focused on some language that you often see as how much more. There's more than one way you can see this language. But we're going to focus on what does it mean when we say how much more. We're going to look at a problem and other problems. And we're going to take one problem in particular and we're going to set it up two ways. We're going to try and find the answer as a subtraction problem. And we're also going to set it up as an addition equation. So let me write that down, as an addition equation. So one problem, we're going to think about finding the answer in two different ways. Here comes the problem. So Mandy has been watching an icicle grow from the end of a gutter on her house. Yesterday, she measured the length of the icicle at 16 3/4 inches. Today, when she measured the icicle, it was 19 5/8 inches long. How many inches did the icicle grow? How many inches did it grow? So I've got myself an icicle here. And when she first saw it, she measured how long it was from her gutter at 16 3/4 inches. The icicle grew a little bit longer, so it increased some more. And when she measured it again, it was 19 5/8 inches long. So it started out here, it ended here. The question is, how much did it grow? I'm going to simplify my drawing here. So here's my gutter. Things started here. I'm just going to do a line to represent. So it started here at 16 3/4 inches. It grew. And when she measured it again, it was 19 5/8 inches long. The question is, how much did it grow? Well, what part is the growing part? This is where it started. This is where it ended. This is the area that it grew. It's the length that it grew. This is the how much more. So this was the increase. All right, it increased from this measurement to this measurement. That's one way I could think about it. It's how much did it grow? So this is how much it grew. This is how much more it is. And I could see, if I want to find this, one way to find it is I can simply subtract how much my second measurement from my first measurement. So I could write this as 19 5/8 inches minus 16 3/4 inches. And the answer to this problem will be the increase in the icicle. That's what it'll be, the increase. I'll leave it to you to find that. So here's my problem set up as a subtraction problem. Great. Let's consider it as an addition equation. So when we do that, we need to notice something here in our drawing. Now my final length of my icicle is 19 5/8 inches long. Well, that 19 5/8 inches is what I started with, plus this amount that it grew. Let's just call this X. I don't know what it is, but I know it's the amount that it grew. But I do know that what I started with plus this, how much it grew, is the same thing as 19 5/8. That is 16 3/4 inches plus my unknown, I don't know what it is, that's okay, I don't have to, is the same thing. That means it's equal, it's equivalent to my final amount. And lo and behold, there I have an equation. If we were to solve this, we would ask the question, well, there's the variable, and I want to get the variable by itself. What must I do? Well, what's happening to the variable? Well, at the moment, I'm adding 16 3/4 inches. In order to get the variable by itself, I have to do the inverse or the opposite operation of what's happening. Well, what's the opposite operation of addition? Subtraction. That means I have to subtract this same amount here to get x by itself. Well, if I subtract 16 3/4 inches from this side, I'm going to have to subtract 16 3/4 inches from this side. When I do this, these two terms are going to cancel each other out. The only thing remaining on the left side of the equal sign is my x. On the right side, I have 19 5/8 inches minus 16 3/4 inches. Well, that is exactly the same problem that I did here. When I do this, and I'll have a solution for x, what will the solution mean? Well, it'll mean the same thing here as it did here. It will be the increase in the icicle. So let's look at a couple other examples where we see this language. So this is how much more, how much it increased. Consider this. The average person in the United States eats 6 13/16 pounds of potato chips each year. I don't know, it seems amazing, but the average person in Ireland eats 5 15/16 pounds. How many more pounds of potato chips? That's the same as this. How much more from what I started with is it compared to my second measurement? The average person in the United States eats 270 1/16 pounds of meat each year. The average person in Australia eats 238.5 pounds. How much more meat do Americans eat? So this how much more language is identical to this problem and can be, we could set up the problem one of these two ways. As a computation problem, or as in this case, write and solve an addition equation to answer each question. And lo and behold, with our icicle problem, that's exactly what we did. We set up an additional equation to find out how much more the icicle grew. Well, I hope this helps. Remember what Einstein said. It is the formulation of a problem that is often more essential. And you know, it works other ways. If you started in one place and you drove to your friend's house, and then you drove a little farther, if I know this distance and I know this distance, I can find out how much more did I travel. I can think about plants. My plant grew, if I knew this measurement here, say it was 10 inches, and then it grew, and I measured again, and my plant now is, 12.5 inches. This is the how much more. So there's lots of ways that this same problem comes at you. Set up your problems. Think clearly what you're doing. Be organized. Follow the steps. You guys will be able to handle it, no problem.